Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we're going to be playing Amateur. Amateur, probably one of the better heroes I think in the game. I mean, it's just so solid. I think early game power is really important right now, especially with the rise of Smiling Sprout. So having access to level 4 treasure that can give you some tempo, and there's some pretty good ones. Like I mean, Mana Catalyst, of course, is kind of problematic at the moment. There always seems to be some level 4 treasure that's problematic. But yeah, Mana Catalyst is that at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna start off with a couple of Cat Angels here. They just have a decent stat line early. We just didn't really have any better options. I don't mind taking them or demons early if I can't find like a Sprout or like a couple of Apprentice Owls or a Freed Prince that I can flip over. We get our level 4 treasure on 3.0. We got the choices between Power Bag, Weird Compass, and Odin's Ravens. I think these are all pretty fine choices. I'm trying to play with like the mindset of like being in a tournament just to kind of get into it, and I think we take the tempo line if that's the way that we're trying to view these plays. I think Weird Compass is also a very good choice, especially just if you're just on ladder or whatever. But yeah, the +4/+2 across the board this early is really good, and we have a chameleon in the shop that we get to immediately flip over into a level 4 character, and then we get another one even, which is really nice. So we get kind of a paid actor here that we get to flip another chameleon with. It turns into a funny cat. So Rapunzel's Prince and a funny cat, not the most game-breaking fours ever, but it does give us a little bit extra. And then we get a shop with 3 of a kind. We got a fox. We got the sleigh fox, anyways. I'm blanking on the name. I think it's Magical Fox. I don't take it very often, so yeah, let's go with that. Anyways, we find 3 of them, so I mean, we got to take the level 3 treasure. I think it's just a good opportunity, and also like with the extra +4/+2, they're more likely to slay, even though one of them did miss their slay. And a level 3 treasure, like most of them are fine. I mean, the level 3 treasures, I mean, they're pretty hit or miss. They're pretty situational, but like usually you can find one that you want to take, or like a utility treasure, like a what do you call it? A hat would be really nice. Or you could take a Seer Sphere and then just like hope that you get, say, either hat or a Mana Catalyst down the line. But yeah, we're gonna take the dagger here, which is gonna add +10 attack to our first character, and it's just gonna allow us to continue getting slays with this fox. It does get +4/+2 per slay, so like scaling's not bad as long as you can keep getting those slays. We're also gonna take the pair of Rapunzel's princes, and yeah, we've got a husky in the shop, which I think we are gonna sell for. We took an alliance band. We're gonna throw that onto our Radiant Fairy, and that's going to give it stats for each character supporting it, which of course we have it double supported by the Rapunzel's Prince, so it's a decent little chunk of stats anyways for I think it was 3 gold. Unfortunately, we get both of our supports sniped, but we do manage to walk away with a tie at least. Yeah, so from this point, I think we're just looking to triple the Rapunzel's Prince. We of course wouldn't mind another husky, although the husky gets a little bit awkward with this fox because they kind of fight for positioning. That's one of the weaknesses of husky is, of course, like you have to move it around the board, and the other units don't necessarily want you to do that. They kind of like being in their specific optimal spots. Of course, fox being in slot 1 or 5. We're going to take a duelist here, which is going to be able to summon in the Radiant Fairy and give it +1/+1. It also just makes double use of the double support slot. So, and also we did find we grabbed a Milkwoman as we were running out of time. I did spend a little bit of time that turn. Of course, this was recorded on Twitch, so I got a raid at the beginning of that turn, and that took some time off there that I had to spend interacting with people. Of course, you got to do your due diligence as a streamer when someone raids. So we got an interesting shop here. Nothing like really exciting in the way of characters, really. I mean, there's a Hermes, but we don't really want to be Slay. We haven't Like if there was like maybe like a sea witch or something in this shop. And then there's also a future vision, which we did take the future vision. Because I mean that just puts us on level 6 next turn, and getting up to 6 2 turns early is almost a need in these lobbies. We did take an Uther and moved our Rapunzel's princes up front. They do have unyielding, so they attack relatively well. Unfortunately, the combat RNG doesn't work in our favor here. And our last unit is a Radiant Fairy, which does not work at all. So yeah, taking the Uther and just instantly filled with regret here. So we're gonna take an audible, and we're actually gonna grab this Dr. Frank and BLT that are in the shop here. I think Scam is incredibly good right now, just like in the metagame. It just beats all those like really big balls of stat comps, like this one with like a Romeo and Juliet, or like the good boy like dogs food comps. Scam gives you by far the best chance to actually battle those, because generally you're gonna have a hard time trying to go over top of them with stats. Cats usually doesn't like scale enough. It honestly feels like the games are just like a rock paper scissors match at this point. Like Scam's really good against stats. Stats are really good against cats, and cats are really good against Scam. There are of course some exceptions, like being able to summon in multiple bodies, or if you have a lot of ranged characters, then that's one way to fight Scam. But with the recent change, moving BLT to 5 and Trinet to 4, and giving TryMyNet unyielding, I think that really pushed Scam over the top. We are going to take a shooting star here, but which like I think is fine. Like it's a little bit rough because like you can kind of play demon stars in the same way that you play cat stars. We do need to find an Oberon, but like those those board slots are pretty valuable, especially in Scam, especially with Dr. Frank, because you really need to get the critical mass of evil characters to be able to get enough summons to scam your opponent. And you need that volume because, of course, like not everyone's going to be a winner. So you want to scam or summon as many scam pieces as possible. The stats generally aren't going to be able to compete with anything. So like there are some instances where you can play like stat treasures with Dr. Frank as sort of a summons comp, but I think in general, like you just can't really worry about stats too much. And that's actually, I think that's a mistake that I did make in this game. And yeah, like the shooting star is of course a stat treasure. Not that we had any really better options during that treasure select. All right, I'm looking at the Mad Oblivion right now. Mad Oblivion is an evil character, and also it can allow us to make sure that we get our BLT attack off, which is very important, because if it gets attacked into, I know it's a 1 in 4, but it's still pretty devastating if we lose that. We don't get the that important attack, especially because a lot of our opponents are just big, have a lot of very big units, like dwarves, of course. Dwarves are very good at making 1 or 2 really big units. I think that's generally where I see a lot of people taking dwarves, with like the multis. Like Admiri, I think is very good, but I feel like a lot of people aren't playing a ton of Admiris. Multi seems like the best or the easiest path to stats or possibly. And I think that's kind of where people are going, and that makes them a lot easier to scam. Yeah, I think you need less items to make multi busted, anyways. Okay, so we got an interesting shop here. We could have taken the level 6 and just popped our treasure map, but instead we're going to take the second high demon there, and then that's going to give us a level 5 treasure next turn, which we can use for our treasure map, and then we'll also get a level 6 treasure from our high demon triple. Just being efficient with our treasures here, and I think we're definitely healthy enough to greed in that spot as we win this convincingly. All right, and again, like I said, like you shouldn't really care too much about stats. Honestly, I maybe should have just taken the Fairytale here. That would have negated the level 6 treasure that we're about to get, because we couldn't, of course, buy the triple. But yeah, we're gonna take the once ugly duckling there. It's gonna give plus 25 attack to everything, which is not insignificant with the Frank and demon summons and whatnot. And then we're gonna take orchestra as well. Like I think normally this is probably fine. That's a lot of stats, and we do have a reasonable amount of summons, but yeah, we definitely should have scouted the board as we're about to see here. I think that's a Dying Breath rune that we're locking there. We do get a really good attack into their Fire Mage though, but yeah, we got a stealth comp who are like almost fully ready to go here, and with the anticipating drum roll treasure, of course, we just haven't seen them in a really long time, I think, and yeah, they're very very large, but I mean they are just 7 units that are a ball of stats, and yeah, like I said, scam matches up really well against that. We did have to get lucky on their first attack. Like we were definitely not near our final form, but yeah, we did manage to tie there with a lucky attack. If we get luckier with our scam summons, of course, then we're a little bit more favored. But yeah, I think like long term, like we have a pretty favorable matchup against this. I mean, of course, we do have to deal with the Fire Mage, which isn't an super important part. Like if we lose our Dr. Frank early, then that really really lowers our chances, because like all these demon summons, they just don't do anything. They're literally just fodder for Dr. Frank summons. Getting the BLT attack is very very important, and like I said, the Try My Net having unyielding is such a huge upgrade, because when you spawn a bunch of or spawn a couple of Try My Nets, and they attack into your opponent and don't die, like they're guaranteed to trade with your opponent, with your opponent's very very large characters, because they won't die unless they're being attacked into, and if they're being attacked into, they're trading with whatever it is, unless they have ranged, of course. But even then, you're reducing their toughness to 3 or 6, and that's very easy for another just random summon to pick off. We're going to take another Frank here, of course, and we find a chair, which is very important. We definitely need to play that. I think we decide not to play the mirror here. Like the mirror is actually pretty good. Honestly, it's probably better than the high demon, so I probably should have made that swap. Like those stats on the demon summons from the high demon, they just don't really matter. Having a unit that's as big as one of those dark twigs, I think would have mattered a lot more. And yeah, because the Fire Mage gets 2 attacks even through our chair, we do take a huge hit there. So I mean, scam obviously, like you still have to, your combat has to go your way, but like I said, I think we're favored in these fights, as long as we can deal with that Fire Mage. But that 3-for-1 from the Fire Mage is incredibly important here. We took a Duelist basically just to hide our Golden Duelist, because if it like we kind of have board space issues. If our Golden Duelist gets attacked into, then we just lose one of our summons that we want to bring in there. One of our we got a Succubus and a second BLT that we want to summon in, so it just delays that by 1 turn. I do think maybe I should have just skipped there and gone for the wolf right away here. I think that might have been better, because I don't know how good Holy Grail is. But yeah, we are locking for that wolf. Well, I mean, of course, we're gonna get a couple golden 6s, but I'm just not really sure what else we need to add to our board at this point. Like our comp is basically complete now. Like maybe another golden Frank would be nice in slot 5 there. We can get out of that high demon. We get some really good summons there. Our mirror gets very very large, as well as we get a good collection of BLTs and Succubus. And yeah, there is another mirror there. That the golden mirror would have absolutely been like I should have 100% taken that. I completely just missed it. So that's definitely a mistake. Another mistake in this game. So a little bit sloppy there. Honestly, maybe even should have taken the second BLT that we just saw. There's another one. I could have easily just taken those and replaced the high demon. The high demon really not doing a ton in this again in this matchup. Those stats just pretty much irrelevant, I think. Maybe not completely irrelevant. Like we do chip away at them. Like there is a fair amount of stats on the summons, but we lose all our scam pieces from the duelist there, unfortunately. But fortunately, our first golden Frank does lays a good enough groundwork for the rest of our summons from the second Frank to finish off the opponent there with 3 golden units. So we're doing chunks of damage to the opponent as well. Not that like I don't really know how. I guess they need to find Cersei's Cup to really beat us. I think they need to be able to scam our wolf somehow, which we are gonna throw 1 layer deep. So this wolf is gonna die, spawning 2 more wolves. Each of those wolves will have a golden Dr. Frank in them. We did get our. They did find the Cersei's Cup. Unfortunately for them, they hit the Archdemon, which it does reduce the amount of summons we get. We didn't get a full board from our first Frank there, but it doesn't really matter. It's enough. We get our second batch of summons, and we still have 3 golden characters standing after the first lackluster kind of summon. But yeah, there we go. Like I said, I think Scam is extremely good. Definitely a top tier comp right now. It is, like I said, it's a little bit of a rock paper scissors game. There are ways to play around Scam, ranged units, extra bodies. Angels do a pretty good job of that, being able to resummon their angels. But if you can like scam their Archangel, unless they have multiples, then you can shut down angels as well. You probably need to look out for flying items for if that's the case though, because of course they're going to be hidden in the back. But that's something you should probably keep an eye on when playing Scam, no matter what. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd very much appreciate it. Once again, please check out my Final Fantasy video. But yeah, other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.